Okay, hold on. Good Lord, I'm starting to look like a hobbit, huh? Getting a bit nippy outside. Oh gosh, I'm trying to put on this hoodie. I've got an issue with hair sticking out. Anyway. Yeah, I noticed I fixed it and then I had to mess it up again. So I'm going to try to just, again, nothing's outrageously sticking up. I'll try to leave it alone. What am I doing? Okay. Hello, YouTubers! It is Sunday, January 16th, 2022. Still in Houston. Okay. I had notes. I have notes. But let me put away this stuff first. Alright. Okay, what do we have? I just went to Reynolds. We'll do the whole tour, grand tour thing. My vegan butter. Earth Balance Organic Whipped. I always have to keep the popcorn supplies flowing. Got another yogurt, which has become very relevant this week. We'll get into that later. More organic bananas. Bag. What else? What else? More sweetener. Okay, where is the other box? 2 boxes. This is organic stevia extract blend. Stevia thing. 2 boxes. Alright, what else? 2 more boxes of my breakfast bars. Protein bars, chocolate chip, protein 1. 90 calories, keto friendly. 2 boxes of those. What else? More salad stuff. Half and half blend, organic baby spinach and organic spring mix. Alright. That. There. Another organic yam, sweet potato, whatever. You can get the pre-packaged or individual thingy. Whatever. And again, gotta keep the popcorn flowing. Organics, yellow organic popcorn kernels. Okay, is that everything? I think that's everything. And the grand total on that, let me see, what is that? I think that was, yeah, that's $38.44. Oh, excuse me. Okay. But I got half price on the on that yogurt. It was on sale, half price thing. So whatever. So that's about $40 for that. And why? Oh, why does the yogurt come into play significantly this week because I got into junk food. Let me stay in try to keep it in order though. Hold on. Yeah, I wrote notes because another week of further developments, right? Updating, always updating. So, what happened this week? Oh gosh, where do I begin? Well, with a letter on my door is where I begin. Hold on, let me start taking this stuff off because I'm going to get a heat stroke. Yeah, it's cooled off today. So I got the opportunity to bust out the coat and the long underwear and the whole bit, right? So, whatever. But as soon as you get indoors, of course. Alright. So, what happened this week? Hold on, look at the letter. Okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, you see the hair going all over the place anyway. So, what happened this week? Excuse me. Oh, this thing. Yes, I'm a movie star. How about that? Okay. So, got the... Oh, okay. You don't need to know that much information. Okay, got this letter on my door on Monday. Well, they must have put it out there on Sunday, but when I went out on my way to work on Monday, I actually didn't read it until Tuesday or whatever. No, I read it on Monday. Whatever. Dear tenant, Orkin will be conducting bug bed and or pest (roach) treatment of your residence on Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. We will be accessing your apartment between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. on that day. You must vacate your unit for at least 3 hours after extermination. You need not be present for the extermination to take place. The pest control is not optional. Is not, all capped. The following bedbug/pest protocol must be followed to ensure successful extermination of bedbugs. 1 through 6 below applies if you have bedbugs. 2, 3, 5, and 6 below applies if you have roaches. If you have no visible pest issues, number 5 applies. Orkin will place monitoring stations and traps. All apartments will have, at a minimum, monitoring and bait stations placed. And then they give you a list of stuff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 1, I'll just read off number 1 to give you an example. All clothing and bedding must be removed from apartment, washed and dried. This must be done on the morning of the treatment. If you have dry, cleaned clothing that is in a closet, ensure that they are covered in plastic. I got it, just to let you know what we're dealing with. Number 2. All items must be removed from the cabinets in the kitchen area. You can place them on a table. Do not put them on the kitchen counter. Number 3, all furniture must be moved away from the walls. Number 4, any furniture that is infested with bed bugs must be thrown away. This includes mattresses, box springs, and any wooden furniture. Number 5, your apartment must be clean. No trash in apartment, no dirty dishes. Floors must be debris free. Number 6, cardboard boxes are a haven for bed bugs, cockroaches, and several other types of bugs. Please be conscious of the need to keep those boxes to a minimum in the unit. This protocol is important to have an effective extermination. If you need assistance, please contact Cloudbreak immediately. I wasn't supposed to read that part. Never mind, you didn't hear that part. If you need assistance, please contact us immediately. We will try to find someone appropriate to assist you. After the extermination has been completed, we will make periodic checks of your apartment to ensure that the treatment was successful. In big, bold letters, with the font like twice the big size as the regular font, this is an amenity at no cost to the resident, or cooperation is necessary to control pests. Thank you, respectfully, again, never mind, and they give you a phone number. Well, needless to say, this kind of turned my universe upside down this week. Yeah, I had to, well, Tuesday already changed my whole, how the day developed, because now I had this on top of my head thing, in addition to everything else. Wednesday I woke up an hour earlier and I took Uber, or was it Lyft? It was Lyft, because Uber couldn't get my directions right. They kept on wanting to pick me up across towns for some reason. I don't know. The app was completely screwy, so I ended up having to use Lyft, because even waking up an hour early wasn't enough to make whatever preparations I had to make. Okay, now I'm already burning it on both ends, right? At both ends. Of course, this completely blew everything out of the water. Yeah, I've already talked to you about my little take on my little roommates here, and what I feel about this form of extermination. Okay, we gotta be real. Pest control is a difficult issue, alright? Biologically speaking, we ain't too great compared to some of our fellow species on this planet, and now we're gonna be fighting for the last bit of livable space, and this is only gonna get worse. So you might as well come to terms with having to manage your living space, right? And if I'm going to run a hostel, this is something I'm going to have to deal with. All right? Now, for any people squeamish, I am terribly sorry. Actually, one of my reviews, I did mention that one of the hostels I stayed on had a bed bug issue. I only put that one word in, bed bugs. I don't think anything else has to be added. Now, let me tell you this much though. Budget traveling. I think hostels are actually better at this than cheap hotels. Because cheap hotels, the owners can get away with having this problem until someone reports them to the health department, or they get so many bad reviews that they just completely kill their business. With a hostel, I mean, everyone's sharing living space, so there's no way to hide this. Okay, these are not separate rooms we're dealing with. This is like dorm style accommodations. So you can't get away with not dealing with the situation immediately. Okay? Let me put it to you this way. In all the hostels I've stayed in, for about a period of 2 or 3 years, what was it? I don't know, whatever. Only 2 instances did I come across a bed bug problem. Okay, the one I mentioned and one that I wasn't in the, I didn't feel I was good, but you know what? Yeah. In all that time, in all the hostels I've been in, only 2. Not in the same country either, okay? This is too different. This is, you can't really get away with stuff like this in a hostel. But in a cheap hotel, Really, unless someone reports you to the health department, or you just end up killing your own business because you get so many bad reviews eventually, nobody's, yeah. So, actually, hostel is a lot better because they have to deal with it immediately. There's no getting around it. So, yeah. Anyway, now that I've this has raised up all those situations. Health issues, right? I mean, if it's killing something that is biologically capable of surviving stuff that we can't even dream of surviving, if it's killing them, it ain't too good for us. Okay? But who wants to live with roaches? Who's going to be, you want to share your living space? I don't think so. I mean, let's be real here. This is probably, at some point in time, you're going to have to deal with this. So, all I can say is, since the place you're staying at has to deal with it, you don't have to add to the problem of spraying, beyond. I mean, your management of it, it's bad enough you got to deal with it when property management has to handle the situation without you adding to it by just daily use of these methods, which again, these things can outlive us in just about any condition, okay? Biologically speaking, we're not too hot stuff, okay? We're pretty weak, pretty puny, pretty inadequate by comparison. If it kills them, it ain't gonna do us no damn favors. All right? These things can outlive us in just about any condition imaginable. If it's killing them, it ain't too good for us. All right, it's bad enough when property management has to deal with it, and it does have to. And I'm probably going to have to use the same damn methods when I'm running my own hostel, because no hostel is going to survive if you've got issues like this. It's not going to happen. Okay, so this is a definite reality. Everyone's going to have to deal with. So it's bad enough when property management without you adding to it by doing this on a daily basis. So I still hold to using roach baits and not sprays. And if you're chasing one down, this pine cleaner. Well, this actually says kills COVID-19 virus, kills 99.9% of germs, and it kills roaches. I've sprayed these things with. You may not be able to outrun these damn things if you're trying to chase one down. You spray this, it'll stop them. Okay, and then you can. I don't know, if you have any mercy whatsoever, it's a lot more merciful to kill them right there and then, just to let them slowly die from this. This is poison, okay? But these big old water molecules aren't going to get in your breathing system like the aerosol sprays when you use that stuff. Okay, I use like 1 part pine cleaner, 4 parts water. So I've got about this much pine in this thing, and then the rest of it's water. And then I just shake it, and that's it. Okay? So I still hold to that. I still think it's a healthier choice. And those little bait, those little bait things, that I've got scattered around here. This is what an individual one looks like, okay? It comes in, well, I've already shown you the package, okay? It's the roach bait. They come in, that's two different sizes for large roaches and for small roaches. And you may start off with favoring one over the other, but eventually you're going to go to both kinds anyway. So you're going to end up getting both of them, but whatever. Initially you'll favor one probably, depending on what is you're dealing with visually, right? But eventually you'll go to using both sizes. Okay, maybe not, but maybe that's just me, whatever. Okay, so that's my take on that. Again, because I've already mentioned all this stuff before. Okay, what else? Oh, it turned my week upside down. Yes, it did. So, and like I said, I was already burning it. Well, you saw the stuff you have to do to prep. I don't even know if they showed up, but actually I kept half the stuff still in bags. But whatever. It turned my week upside down. My little universe upside down. So, as far as eating healthy this week was concerned, yeah, forget about it. No almond butter sandwiches and organic apple for me. So I started already exploring the world of junk food on the go, right? Which initially I was going to wait until I found out how much I was going to pay back in student loans, but forget it. That really blew my universe up. So, let me see. Okay, now I'm going to get into all that. Well, why not, right? Okay, so junk food. Yeah, I've tried out a lot of fast food places that I hadn't gone to before. Whether it was because Florida just didn't have don't have these particular chains, or they just came up recently, and me being an old fart, I just stick to what I know, right? So for the most part, I was a Mickey D's, BK kind of person. Actually, McDonald's came later in life because I grew up going to BK, Burger King, not Mickey D's, McDonald's. But anyway, like Whataburger, they've got this place, a burger chain here in Houston. Whataburger. The first couple of months I heard commercials for it, I thought they were saying Waterburger or whatever. It wasn't until I saw it in print, Whataburger, or passed a restaurant or stopped at one, whatever, that I realized, oh my gosh, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, it's What a Burger, WHAT, What a Burger. All right. Anyway, 7-Elevens. They almost don't have any 7-Elevens here in Houston. Most of it is Circle K. I've seen a couple of 7-Elevens, but that's about it. Mostly Circle K. Mostly Star Stop or Stop Star or some Star Stop. Whatever. I don't know. But almost no 7-Elevens, which is what I grew up with. And KFC doesn't have corn on the cob anymore. That blew me away. I accept the fact that they don't have little key lime pies. I wasn't really expecting that. They don't even have strawberry shortcake. But I figured key lime pie was probably a Florida thing. But they don't even have corn on the cob. I don't know when that happened. But that blew me away. Okay, what else did I learn this week? Oh, Sonic. They got this thing called Sonic, which is like a drive-in, one of those old-fashioned drive-in movie things, where instead of sitting in a cinema, in a movie house, whatever, you're outside and you kind of hook up audio things to your car. You just pull up to the thing and you're watching movies from your car. Anyway, that's the general premise of Sonic. You drive up and you order, and then they deliver the stuff to you. Or now, it actually has a drive-through thing. I don't know if the individual things are actually working now, but I used the drive-through thing because, yeah, by the time I came of age, the last drive-in movie had closed in Dade County, so I wasn't even used to that. I mean, when I was a real small kid, or my family went there, but by the time anyway, strange concept still to me. So I used the drive-through there. They've got onion rings and chocolate shakes, which is what I apparently wanted to gorge myself on. What else did I find out? Oh, barbecue chicken was what I had a hankering for. And one of the Burger Kings I went to had something called Rodeo Chicken Jr., which is a chicken patty with 3 or 4 onion rings and barbecue sauce. And that was really good. I went to another one and ordered that. They ended up giving me a burger instead of the chicken patty, and I returned it, and I said I did not. Anyway, cutting to the chase, every Burger King is different because they didn't add the rodeo chicken thing. They only have the burger version. So what else did I learn? Okay, Sonic, I went to for the first time this week. KFC no longer has corn on the cob. There are almost no 7-Elevens here in Houston, most of it Circle K. I got the honey mystique sausage for $2.37. You can get 2 for $3, but each of them is like 2 something or other, plus tax, $2.37. Okay, sausage. What can I say about sausage? What is sausage made out of? I googled it earlier today. Sausage is made of just about everything. So although there's no guarantee that there's no beef in sausage, it doesn't necessarily mean there is. Alright? Yeah, if you are Muslim, do not eat sausage because it usually has pork. But one thing you can bet with sausage is you will need your yogurt on that day. If you're not used to eating the meat in this country, you will feel the difference just eating this stuff. By the end of the day, you'll know something's wrong. Okay? I ended up putting yogurt on my popcorn because I ran out of bananas. I needed the yogurt yesterday. Yesterday was when I had the sausage. I have no idea what kind of meat they put in there. They put everything. They put everything in a sausage, okay? But, yeah, you'll be needing that yogurt if you're eating this stuff. So, heads up on that. By the by, it's not so bad when you put it on top of popcorn. It's fun. I needed that yogurt, okay? Yeah. Anyway, what else did I, I also had a Slurpee this week. Yeah, I was completely off the wagon. I just did everything. I did the soda thing, which I don't do. I did the chocolate shake thing, which is the dairy ice cream thing, which I don't do. And yeah, completely off the wagon. So I don't know what the hell I did this week. I know I needed the yogurt though. Yeah. So what have I basically concluded? Whether because you don't have any time or any more patience or any more money, at some point in time, you'll probably have to fall back on junk food. All I can say is don't buy it to eat at home. It's bad enough you have to expose yourself to this type of food product when you're running around outside. You do not need to buy it and have it at home. At home, you have some control over what you're consuming. Try to make decent choices, all right, for your own space. Because if you can't even maintain your own house, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like if I have no time, but I'm at home. If I have no time or energy, I can have a bowl of fruit on hand. Okay, I can have a organic apple. Like when I came back yesterday, I had one of my organic apples and the popcorn with the yogurt. My own little invention out of pure necessity. I put yogurt on my popcorn. So yeah, you know, whatever. But don't buy junk food to keep it at home. If you can't make half decent choices for the stuff you're keeping on hand here in your own living space, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, try to stay healthy. You know, don't. I mean, once your patience and your time and everything else runs out, okay, you fall off the wagon, you start gorging on junk food, fine, whatever. If you have to, you have to, whatever. But don't buy it for the house, because, I mean, you just give it up on your health altogether, all right? And there are too many people profiting on you giving up on your own health. You don't need to buy into all their nastiness and whatever, greed by helping them along. So, okay, yeah, I completely fell off the wagon and just ate everything this week. And I still have to go to Popeyes. I did try Popeyes over there in Vietnam, but and it was good. Awesome chicken sandwich I had over there at well, it's Hanoi, right? Well, I think it was Hanoi. But whatever. I still have to check that out locally. And that's it. I'm just going to make a list of Circle K's because I'm using my GPS to find these. It doesn't list them. I think the closest Circle K I could find on my GPS was like 15 miles away. Of course, I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm going to have to manually put in the address and save it. And when I save it and put in the name, I'm going to have to put Circle K and the street name, whatever, just to have it on hand because they don't list them. So I don't know what to tell you with that. Yeah, so I'm making my own individual Circle K list. And I still have to check out Popeyes. So, what else? That's the junk. 34? Oh, heck. Okay, so what is this week's video about? Okay. What a messy week I've had. That's what this video is. Actually, it is because, just to tie it all together, stuck in a dead-end job. All right? Oh, and more Duolingo. That has taken a very prominent place in my existence at this point. Now, what do I mean by saying when I say stuck? This is, it's not really stuck. Because that means you have chosen to be there. It is a choice, it's not really stuck. But given all your available options, it happens to be the best one you've got. So that is stuck, but not really stuck. Just what is the value you place on your job? Okay? That is so subjective. Okay? It just boggles the mind how subjective this is. How much BS will you put up with? And what's it worth to you? And what's your life worth to you as far as how you value the quality of your life? You see how subjective this is? This ties into worldview, just your attitude about life itself, about your own culture, your I don't know, interpretation of spirituality. You know, this, you can even get into religion with this. You see, not being a religious person, this is an alien territory to me. But as far as quality of life is concerned, that's plain enough. So for someone that doesn't have to deal with all those other stuff, you're still dealing with quality of life, self-respect, and how you value your own existence and your own future and all that kind of stuff. And perceiving what the future might hold for you, okay? This is what a non-religious person deals with. What a religious person does, I'm not going to even try to guess. Okay, so I don't know. If you think you're building up karma by suffering here, that's too Buddhist a thing for me, so I don't know what that thing is. Christians, it depends on which denomination you are, so I don't know about things like that. From what I can tell, Catholics are really into being martyrs, so I don't know if that plays into whatever. But if you're talking a non-religious interpretation of what you have to deal with, we're just talking lifestyle and physical demands, and what you perceive will be future demands that you may or may not be able to sustain on an ongoing basis. Stuff, that's what you really have to deal with. If you go into other stuff like worldview and spirituality and religious obligations or whatever, you're going to have to ask somebody else. That's not my strong point. And this is a complete outsider's interpretation, and it's going to be, I don't know, better or worse, because it is an outsider's point of view, but you're going to have to ask somebody else about that. For my part, I can only talk about my own quality of life and what I consider sustainable as far as physical demands are concerned. So once I interpret that or make my own assessment about that, I'm going to have to decide, does this still hold value for me once I make that assessment? And let me tell you, having a decent paycheck is nothing to sneeze at. If the hours you have to spend obtaining that decent paycheck seem unreasonable to you, you're still going to have to determine, does this still hold value for me? Is this sustainable? Will I be able to keep this up indefinitely into the future, foreseeable future? So here we go. It starts getting a little tricky, right? So this is very subjective. This depends on your own situation and your own assessment as far as quality of life is concerned and where you put your priorities. So we're getting into actual religious worldview and cultural distinctions here as far as what you consider acceptable and unacceptable and what you're prepared to put up with and all that kind of, what Andrew Henderson might call a good fit or bad fit. This is all the bad parts about working for him, and if you can get beyond that point, we can continue talking kind of thing. He just did a video, I think yesterday, about this kind of thing. Well, this is what we're talking, this is where this week has come to, for me, anyway. So you have to make all those little determinations. Woo! We're already into 41. Okay. Like I said, this has been a crazy week. And I'm running out of space, so this probably will cut me off at some point in time. But anyway, let me try to finish this off. Very subjective. The only time this ceases to be subjective is when you are actually losing money by working wherever you're working. Then it's no longer subjective. Then it's very objective. Every second you sustain that situation, you are losing. All right? It's no longer subjective. At that point, you have to abandon ship. This doesn't matter what your worldviews are. It doesn't matter what your cultural distinction is. It doesn't matter how you perceive spirituality. It doesn't matter what your religion is. Once you're actually losing money, it ceases to be subjective. This is very objective, and this is no longer sustainable, and you need to change the situation immediately. Every second you're losing, okay? But until that point is reached, it's subjective. So these are things you're going to have to figure out as you go. So when I say stuck in a dead-end job, I don't really mean stuck, because you're staying there because you perceive some value to it. How much you'll put up with depends on all those subjective things that come into play. Okay, here we go. Good fit, bad fit, as Andrew would say. This is all that's subjective. Now that you're going to have to figure that out. And that is completely a combination of culture and religion and world views and what you perceive and what you don't perceive. Very subjective stuff. All right. Anyway, you're going to have to figure that one out. So when I say stuck in a dead-end job, the dead end is this is the job you're going to be doing, and you're not going to be going the stuck is not really stuck. Okay, you're there because you still perceive some value in the situation you find yourself in. Out of all the options available to you at that moment, this is the best one. So stuck, but that's not really stuck. Okay, the dead end is pretty straightforward. This is the job you're going to be doing. That's what that means. All right. Okay, so stuck, long-term, job prep, whatever. Duolingo. Again, that is becoming more competitive, and this video is already too long. Duolingo. Yeah. Old fart that I am, and assessing my situation as objectively as I can manage to assess it, I'm going to have to be more competitive than everybody else, English native speakers with a bachelor's degree, because there are going to be a lot of them now, right? Changing their situation. So why would anyone hire me to teach if that's what I end up doing? Really, if you're an old fart, you've got to pick a country and you got to learn the language. Because if you're just a native English speaker and you just have your bachelor's degree, you don't have any teaching experience, why the heck should they hire you? When they can hire some gullible little squirt just out of college. You know, he stayed on the education track, and the only difference between the classes, really, if you want to get down to it, are the options they have. The higher up you have, the more options you have. Usually, that's how it falls into place. When someone says you don't need a degree, you need a degree. Not if you're not on the school track already. Not if you have to change everything and blow your whole thing. And okay, you probably don't need a degree. But if you're already in school, get the darn degree. Okay, that's one more option in your back pocket, and you need all the options you can manage to have nowadays. Okay, so if you're already in school, stay there. Get your degree. Okay, that's a solid option you have, and no one can take from you. But if you're an old fart and you're competing against these little 20-somethings that listened to mom and dad and stayed in school and got their degree, that's a solid option that no one's going to take from you. All right? Now, if you're an old fart because you had to have things your own way and you're very stubborn and you see things the way you see it and no one can tell you anything about anything, it doesn't matter. If that's where you're coming from, and it took you years to finally go ahead and get that degree, why should anyone hire you? You got to pick a country, learn the language, okay? Because if you don't even speak the language and you're going there into a classroom and all you are is a little foreigner trying to teach English, you better at least be young. Because if you're an old fart, you need something else, okay? So I'm going to learn the language. I picked Turkey, and I'm going to learn Turkish, and I'm probably even going to have a backup and end up learning Vietnamese and whatever. But whatever, that's my plan B. But yeah, you're going to have to be competitive nowadays. Otherwise, you're going to have to be competitive as you can manage to be. You got to outwork your coworkers. You got to have the degree if you're already in school. In that part, listen to mom and dad. If you're already in school, get the darn degree. All right. Whatever. I don't know. It's not easy out there nowadays, boys and girls. Have as many options as you can manage to have. No, you don't absolutely need a degree, but if you're already in school, get the darn degree. Okay? And, yeah, whatever. This is going to kick me off. Alright, I have more notes on this thing, and I could have gone into the junk food thing and saving money and not tipping, because if you're already compromising your health by eating all that junk, don't tip, whatever it is, unless you absolutely have to, which means it's not actually a tip, it's an additional cost. Don't consider your own economic sanction, okay? Everybody, I'm sorry, but you really need to be preparing for your exit plan. You really need to get your exit plan underway, because if you're still looking around you and you think this is a viable option, a viable, workable situation, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Because, yeah, you're already compromising your health by eating junk food. You should not be tipping. All right, so I'm sorry for all the Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, for all the employees at Subways or wherever tipping situations crop up. But if people are compromising their health already because they can't afford to eat healthy foods and make healthy choices, you do not need to be in a job where you have to depend on tips. I'm sorry, you need to put together an exit plan, and I'm already hitting 15 minutes. And yeah, this week was a mess. And I've got tons of notes, and
I haven't even really gotten into any of it, but it's already been too long. And I haven't even started my laundry. Okay? So, too much is happening, boys and girls. Way too much is happening. This is my update. And this thing is going to kick me off any second now. Still Houston, if you can believe it. What did I say was January 16th, Sunday, 2022, 2:28 p.m. And I've got to hurry up and do my laundry. Talk to you next week, boys and girls. Stay healthy as you can afford to stay. Stay safe. Talk to you next week.